You're watching Machindo's hometown station, HTV1.
Hello everybody, Brett Boyd from the Market House. Don't miss our new expanded summer hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And don't miss two fantastic deals on ground chuck at just $3.99 a pound or Dutch Farms butter at just $2.99. Just two great deals and two more reasons to come see us at the Market House. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. We'll see you there.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
From Machindo's news leader, this is HTV1 News at noon.
Well, increases in cases remain minimal in the coronavirus fight. Well, good afternoon, Machindo. I'm Scott Pienta. Branch County reports 139 confirmed cases and 2 deaths with 14 probable cases. In Hillsdale, there are 171 confirmed cases, 25 deaths, and 9 probable cases. Lenawee County shows 158 confirmed cases, 122 of those recovering, and 5 deaths, along with 33 probable cases, all of them recovered. Now, Steuben County reports 95 cases and 2 deaths. There are 42 confirmed cases in Williams County, along with 16 probable cases and 1 death. And in Fulton County, an additional case from over the weekend is a confirmed one, bringing that total up to 49, with 1 probable case and no deaths. Couple of updates from some local long-term care facilities around the area. Officials at Maple Lawn in Coldwater say that the facility is COVID-free, but 5 staff members are either showing various possible symptoms or believe that they may have been exposed to the virus. And those staff members are now staying at home pending test results. All staff and residents that are there are being monitored on a daily basis, and all new admissions and hospitalizations are being tested, with all results so far coming back negative. The Hillsdale County Medical Care Facility says that they're currently COVID-free as well, with no positive staff or residents and no tests pending. Both facilities say that they're waiting on official word to allow visitors. Maple Lawn says the Michigan Committee is making a meeting on that topic this week, and the HCMCF says that the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid will also be required to approve. An 8-week work share program has been approved for city staff members in Bronson. WTBB says that the City Council approved the measure at last night's meeting, allowing work hours for non-union employees to be reduced by 20% or 1 day each week. Employees who take that option would be paid $72 for that day in unemployment, and they would not lose any benefits. Currently, the weekly unemployment rate in Michigan is $362 per week, with an additional $600 per week until the CARES Act ends in July. Now, the city manager, Brandon Mersman, says that the move will save the city an estimated $13,000. Also at that meeting, Mersman says Bronson is hoping to reopen City Hall next Monday with social distancing and safety measures in place. The city of Angola may have canceled their official 4th of July parade, but a group of veterans and public safety officials are now organizing a parade themselves. The Angola Freedom March will be taking place along the same route as the original parade, starting at 11 a.m. on July 4th. And the organizers say that this is not a protest, just a parade. WLKI says that the Angola VFW and the American Legion and the Angola Police Department and plus the Steuben County Sheriff's Office have all promised to support. And the organizers hope to bring the Angola Fire Department along as well. Well, the group say that they understand why the city chose to cancel the parade, but they believe that the state of the world today. There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
Authentic Mexican food is just a short drive away at El Cerrito in Coldwater and Hillsdale. The variety-packed menu has something for everyone, with classic Mexican dishes, El Cerrito specialties, and tasty treats for dessert. Don't forget the best margaritas in town with margarita specials Friday and Saturday. And carry-out ordering is great for work lunches or picking up dinner for the family. Make your next meal a fiesta for your taste buds at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
Fulton County Fair organizers are preparing for the likelihood that activities could be reduced to just 4-H and junior fair competitions for this year. Now, the expositor says that the fair board is waiting on Ohio's latest revisions to the coronavirus regulations before making any decisions, and that they should come within the next couple of weeks. Board President Dennis Wise says that the state issued some guidance on safety standards a week ago. But until there's something more definite to go by, the fair is in a state of limbo. Now, he added that the board will likely meet in the middle of the month to make a final decision. But even if the fair is held, it most likely won't be to the event everyone recognizes. Multiple county fairs across the Machado area in all three states have been either canceled or reduced to lesser activities, including the Lenawee County Fair and the Steuben County 4-H Fair. The Ohio State Fair and the Indiana State Fair have also been canceled this year. Wise believes that he says that he believes the coronavirus has been blown out of proportion, and that the state's response is to charade that he's thoroughly upset with. Now, Fulton County Health Commissioner Kim Cupp says the virus itself hasn't changed, but the health system's capacity to handle it has, making it possible for some events to continue while social distancing requirements mean that a full event would still look much different. Now, she added that we have to learn to live with the virus in a healthy way. At the same time, the Williams County Agricultural Society is taking a more optimistic view. The Bryan Times says Society President Matt Kennedy doesn't foresee any problems with following those guidelines that were issued last week. Kennedy says that he's been working with the Ohio Fair Managers Association and talking with the Williams County Health Department while watching every update that comes out. It's also possible that Ohio could open things up much more widely by the time the fair takes place in mid-September. Under the current requirements, animal exhibits must be assessed for symptoms every day. Microphones must be sanitized between users, and only 10 exhibitors are allowed in the arena at any given time. Spectators must also follow current rules about mass gatherings and social distancing. Now, Kennedy says people are getting hung up on the limit of 10 people for a mass gathering because they believe that means only 10 people at the fairgrounds, but that is incorrect. It means 10 people in a group. Another good sign is the reopening of amusement parks and racetracks in Ohio on June 19th. And Kennedy says a lot of what those venues are being required to do is already done at the fair. Also, unlike the ride company used for the Bryan Jubilee, the company that said that the fair hires is still in operation for this year. Kennedy says that the Williams County Fair might look a little bit different, but he still believes that he could still be something still close to normal. Indiana's Department of Education has released their guidelines for reopening the schools in this fall. WLKI says that the in-class plan recommends that school districts develop specific testing and hygiene procedures, review and revise the academic calendar to build in contingency plans, and work with their insurance providers on liability coverage. All employees and students should be encouraged to wear face coverings as well. The guidelines were developed with the help from Governor Eric Holcomb's and the State Health Department, the IHSAA, the Family Social Services Administration, and the group of medical professionals. Now, you can read more about the whole plan at doe.in.gov. Also down in Indiana, WLKI reports that the Bureau of Motor Vehicles will reopen for walk-ins and limited appointments next Monday. Well, that includes all transactions except driving skills exams, which will resume later, with details on that coming in the next few weeks. B.M.V. branches will continue to follow CDC guidelines limiting the number of people inside and spaces marked for people waiting outside. Employees who interact with customers will be required to wear masks, and customers are encouraged to wear them as well. Even with the reopening, however, the B.M.V. still urges Hoosiers to complete transactions online or at the B.M.V. Connect kiosk whenever possible. Now, you can also call the B.M.V. or mail in pre-printed forms to return a renewal. Well, still ahead, an update on the fight that started after a man attempted to drive his truck through a protest in Adrian. And police are searching for 2 suspects who robbed a convenience store at knife point. You're watching all this on HTV1 News at Noon. There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
Authentic Mexican food is just a short drive away at El Cerrito in Coldwater and Hillsdale. The variety packed menu has something for everyone, with classic Mexican dishes, El Cerrito specialties, and tasty treats for dessert. Don't forget the best margaritas in town with margarita specials Friday and Saturday. And carry-out ordering is great for work lunches or picking up dinner for the family. Make your next meal a fiesta for your taste buds at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
Well, Adrian police are still looking for eyewitnesses to determine exactly what happened when a man drove into a group of protesters and started an altercation. Well, you're watching a video here of the incident right here, which was submitted to WLEN. Now, it happened just before 1 p.m. Sunday, right in front of the police department on Maumee Street. The man drove a large pickup truck into the otherwise peaceful protest and began verbal argument, which led to a physical altercation. Well, the video you're watching doesn't show it, but the comments from those who claim to be there allege that the man physically assaulted some protesters, leading to the fight that you're now watching. The Lenawee County Prosecutor's Office issued a warrant yesterday for 2 misdemeanor counts of assault and battery, and the 45-year-old male suspect later turned himself in at the police department. Now, he's been released on a personal recognizance bond and is scheduled to be arraigned on June 30th. Authorities are not releasing his name until then. If you were in the crowd or were otherwise a witness to the incident, you're asked to email the Adrian Police Department at apdtips@adrianmi.gov. Make sure you include your name, address, and telephone number so the police can contact you if they have any further questions. Now, you can also call the Adrian Police Department at 517-264-4808. A video of Hillsdale High School juniors organized the latest local protest against racism and police violence. The Daily News says nearly 100 people took part in the event yesterday, which started on the courthouse lawn, where Ashlyn Moore and Carlson Cooley addressed the crowd of mostly younger people. They named some of the black people who have been killed by police over the past several years, then marched along North Broad Street to loop around City Hall and back again. Some people honked their horns, though at least one person shouted disparaging words at the protesters. Moore says she herself has experienced racism in Hillsdale, but she's also received support from people who want to do something to help. Now, the duo weren't sure how many people would show up, but they were proud to see the turnout. They hope those that saw the march understood that even in a small town, predominantly white town like Hillsdale, diversity is growing, and there are many who stand against injustice and racism. The paper notes that it was a stark contrast from the infamous Ku Klux Klan rally that took place in Hillsdale in 1995. Well, that event drew crowds from both for and against the Klan, resulting in 6 arrests and some property damage downtown. Yesterday's event, however, was entirely peaceful. Mayor Adam Stockford seemed to take some issue with at least part of the protesters' motivations, however, issuing a statement on Facebook after the event concluded. He wrote, "We had an officer in Hillsdale attacked with a knife last year. The attacker had every intention of killing or maiming him. Our officer has every justifiable excuse to use deadly force, and he didn't. So whatever happens else anywhere, I can tell you here, our officers will put themselves in danger before they hurt someone else. I appreciate all the locals who came out today to protest something that they are passionate about, even in front of City Hall. But please understand our city officers are a part of this community and deserve our respect and protection as well. Good, peaceful protests today. Meanwhile, on the state level, WHTC says that the Michigan Senate has passed a bill that would require police officers to take an additional de-escalation, implicit bias, and crisis intervention training, with all officers in the state going through that training by January of 2022. That bill cleared the Senate easily and is now on its way to the Michigan House. But it may encounter some resistance in that chamber as two-term Republican Mary Whiteford and Casseco Township in the South Haven area says she believes that the Michigan Commission of Law Enforcement Standards should make that determination, not the legislature. Whiteford was interviewed on WHTC, telling the radio station that lawmakers should only address the issue if M. Coles does not do it themselves, adding that she is waiting on that commission to state their position before she decides on how to vote. Some lawmakers are still taking issue with the cost of additional training, but as the state bill leaves that to the local police departments. Police in Adrian are looking for these two suspects who robbed a convenience store at knife point. Now, it happened at the 7-Eleven on the corner of Division and Beecher Streets around 5 a.m. Sunday morning. Surveillance video shows the suspects entering the store and robbing the clerk, getting away with an undisclosed amount of money. Well, they're both described as Hispanic males in their late teens or early 20s, both wearing masks and gloves. If you have any information regarding their identity, well, you're asked to call the APD Detective Sergeant Lamar Rufner at 517-264-4834. Well, Branch County fire crews had to deal with two fires Sunday, both of them still under investigation. WTVB says the first blaze destroyed an abandoned home on Glade Lake Road early Sunday morning. Bronson Assistant Fire Chief Ken Stutzman says that the house had been unoccupied for several years and was already fully engulfed by the time the crews could get there. Crews were on the scene for about a half of an hour. No injuries were reported. Well, then about 8 Sunday night, a barn was destroyed on Tallahassee Road in Allegheny Township. Lakeford and Quincy firefighters arrived to see the structure fully engulfed in flames, and smoke could be seen for several miles around. Hay, straw, and equipment were inside at the time. Now, the crew stayed at that incident for about 2.5 hours. No injuries were reported in that blaze either. Well, we know at least one injury that has happened in this crash in Bryan yesterday afternoon. Now, the Times reports that it happened around 4:30 p.m. Monday at the corner of West High Street and Town Line Road. Now, the pickup truck and this crossover vehicle both suffered front-end damage. One person was transported from the scene on a stretcher. Now, Bryan police declined to provide any further details at this time of the incident. Well, the three Skeleton brothers from Morenci are still missing, but their father, a suspect in their disappearance, may get out of prison soon. And the date has been set for Coldwater City Council to vote on recreational marijuana businesses. Those stories and more when HTV1 continues.
The Saucy Dogs is the name and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Does your vehicle sound like a tractor putting down the road? Then you need to see the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. They will give you a free estimate along with first-class customer service. They custom make any exhaust needed for your vehicle. Stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
Hello everybody, Brett Boyd from the Market House. Don't miss our new expanded summer hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And don't miss two fantastic deals on ground chuck at just $3.99 a pound or Dutch Farms butter at just $2.99. Just two great deals and two more reasons to come see us at the Market House. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. We'll see you there.
The thief of a handgun has pulled an Orland area man in jail. The Herald Republican says it happened Friday evening when a couple was sitting on their front porch. The wife watched while the husband cleaned his gun and demonstrated his abilities with a set of nunchucks. Well, their next-door neighbor, 36-year-old Tyson Pike, claimed that the man was threatening him with the gun. And when the man set the gun down behind the bush to pick up the nunchucks, well, Pike walked over in their property and grabbed the firearm. When the man approached Pike, Pike threatened to shoot him in the leg if he came any closer. Pike then retreated to his own home. The wife then went to Pike's home to ask for the gun, only to allegedly have Pike push her and knock her down. She dropped her phone, which Pike then also took. Now, when Steuben County deputies arrived, Pike admitted that he took the gun, unloaded it, and put it in a cabinet. That's where authorities recovered both the gun and the phone. The phone has been returned to the woman while her husband voluntarily turned over the gun as evidence. Pike was arrested and jailed with on charges of theft of a firearm and pointing at a firearm, both level 6 felonies. If convicted, he faces up to 2.5 years behind bars on each count. An Angolan man who was convicted of murder 7 years ago is scheduled to return to Steuben County for a post-conviction relief hearing. The Herald Republican says 31-year-old Zio Garth Burrell is currently serving a 105-year sentence at the Indiana State Prison in Michigan City for killing 40-year-old Brent Dabrowski in June of 2012, then attempting to kill Steuben County Sheriff's deputy during the subsequent chase, as well as a misdemeanor gun charge. The jury trial lasted an entire week, with the verdict coming on a Saturday morning. Now Burrell claims that the court-appointed attorney Linda Wagner did not effectively represent him during that trial. Multiple attorneys, both public and private, have taken part then withdrawn from the case, and Judge Fee confirmed in a letter last week that the public defender had once again been removed from the case. Prior to his trial, Burrell said that he would represent himself, but Wagner was appointed to a standby counsel, and Burrell then asked that she be appointed as his public defender. After a trial, Judge William Fee had denied Burrell the ability to petition for a post-conviction relief, but earlier this January, the Indiana Court of Appeals overturned that decision. In its ruling, the appeals court said that the Steuben Superior Court had allowed briefings to replace a proper hearing in the case, and that the Burrell was entitled to such a hearing. A hearing was held on Friday to schedule it for September 4th, and Burrell will be transported from prison to attend it. The imprisoned Morenci man, who is still suspected of killing his 3 sons, could soon be released on parole. 48-year-old John Skelton is currently at the Bellamy Creek Correctional Facility in northern Michigan on unlawful imprisonment charges in connection with the disappearance of his children, a case that has drawn international attention. Andrew, Alexander, and Tanner Skelton are still missing, and while no remains have been found, police have been treated as a homicide since 2011. Well, now the Bryan Times reports that Skelton is tentatively scheduled for a parole hearing on July 27th. Holly Kramer with the Michigan Department of Corrections says that the interview will be conducted by remote and discuss the nature of the offense. Now, Skelton's conduct in prison and any other issues or concerns relevant to the case. Other factors under consideration include criminal history, age, parole guidelines, and various assessment results. The Michigan Parole Board is accepting letters for or against early release. Now, you can write to the Michigan Parole Board, 206 East Michigan Avenue, P.O. Box 30003, Lansing, Michigan, 48909. You can also email them at parole-board-staff@michigan.gov. Be sure to include John Skelton's prisoner ID number, which is 812593. Technical difficulties forced the Branch County Circuit Court to postpone 4 of their 5 scheduled plea hearings yesterday. The Coldwater Daily Reporter says defendants were supposed to connect to the courtroom via Zoom, but only one of them was able to make it work. Some had audio connections only, while others had no video and no sound. Proceedings could not continue because the court is required to visually identify the defendant and audibly enter a plea. It was the same day that the restaurants were able to open at 50% capacity, leading Judge Bill O'Grady to complain that a diner is more accessible than the courts of Michigan. Now, the judge blamed the differences in hardware for the problem. Current pandemic guidelines have eliminated almost all in-court appearances in the state. And O'Grady says until those guidelines are modified, defendants will have to go to their attorney's office or the Michigan Indigent Defendants Council to get a working connection. The Community Action Agency is hoping Branch County voters will approve a small millage to fund the agency's senior meals program. WTVB and the Daily Reporter say that the plan was presented to the county commissioners on Thursday. The agency's Chuck Asher says that the program has been available for over 25 years and a waiting list had to be started in June of last year. Now, there were 67 clients at the list in March, and by May, that number had grown to 181 clients. The program is currently funded by $195,000 in grants, and the 2/10 of a mil that they are asking for would raise another $297,000. Branch County is the only county in the area that does not use its Commission on Aging millage funding for the meals program, leaving that to the Community Action Agency instead. Ashton said that they've cut costs as much as possible, but they were still not able to serve most of those people on the waiting list. County commissioners expressed concern about the timing of the request with a large number of people currently unemployed due to the coronavirus pandemic. County Administrator Bud Norman is expected to present information about how much taxpayers are currently paying for the current millage and legal options on the proposed new millage, as well as cost analysis for millages that are less than 2/10 of a mil. Well, a date has been set for the Coldwater City Council to vote on recreational marijuana businesses ordinances. Now, according to WTVB, the council voted 7-2 to accept a pair of ordinances as submitted by the city's planning commission last week. Council members Chad Johnson and Kim Kanak were the two no votes. One ordinance would allow special use approval for recreational marijuana businesses downtown in the general business district and the heavy industrial district. The businesses would have to be 500 feet from residences and schools and 1,000 feet apart from each other. Growing and processing facilities would also be allowed to co-locate with retail establishments in the heavy industrial zone. The other ordinance would repeal the city's prohibition on marijuana establishments and create a municipal marijuana license as the first step a business would take toward a special use authorization required in the other ordinance. That license
El Cerrito's variety-packed menu has something for everyone. With generous servings and lots of flavor, you'll think of it as a fiesta for your taste buds. Dine in or carry out at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family-owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project. The Saucy Dogs is the name and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Bryan Municipal Utilities is asking its customers to help keep demand down this summer. B.M.U. says the significant portion of their power supply cost is based on how much electricity its customers using during peak demand periods, which usually occurs when hot, humid summer weekends between 2 and 6 p.m. The utility will be sending out peak alerts through social media and local media outlets to notify customers that they're asking for less electrical usage. It's a system that they used in the past, and Operations Manager Dawn Fitzcharles says community response has been terrific. During peak usage, B.M.U. suggests little things like turning off unnecessary lights, closing window blinds, and raising your AC's thermostat to 78 degrees. Now, Fitzgerald says that the utility does their part by pausing municipal water pumps and operations at the water treatment plant using water towers to maintain pressure in the water system. They also operate the municipal power plant, the Bryan Solar Field, and Agolize Hydro Plant to reduce from other sources during peak use periods. All of this is intended to help keep everyone's power bills from getting too expensive in the summer. You can find out more at the cityofbryan.net/alert. Well, those are today's top stories. We'll see you right back here tomorrow for HTV1 News at noon. Now, don't forget, you can find more news in our live streams 24/7 at htv1.net. For all of us here at HTV1, I'm Scott Pienta. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Have a great day, everyone.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
Hello everybody, Brett Boyd from the Market House. Don't miss our new expanded summer hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And don't miss two fantastic deals on ground chuck at just $3.99 a pound or Dutch Farms butter at just $2.99. Just two great deals and two more reasons to come see us at the Market House. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. We'll see you there.